set realistic expectations. Again, I'm on LinkedIn a lot and I hear from a lot of job seekers about how long they've been in the job search. And on average, if you're going at the job search alone, meaning you're not working with a coach, you're not getting support from a mentor, etc., then the job search is probably going to take you anywhere from 4 to 6 months. Okay. Now, even in a 4 to 6 months job search, I still want you to set realistic expectations. So I always tell people, if they say 4 months, give yourself 5. If it says 6, give yourself 7. So I like to say, for those people who are going at the job search solo, to give yourself 5 to 7 months in the current job market. Today is the end of May, and I wanted to talk about burnout. The month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and while I didn't touch on this topic this month as much as I wanted to, I do want to, by the time you hear this, it will be the end of the month. So I didn't touch on it as much as I wanted to, but I wanted to end the month on burnout in the job search specifically. You may hear an episode next week about burnout in your actual job. So we'll see. So stay tuned for that. But I wanted to end the month on job search burnout. The reason is because I am on LinkedIn quite a bit, and the job market this year has not been great for many job seekers. And so that comes with a bunch of overwhelm, and I wanted to discuss that today. So we're going to go over some of the ways that you can reduce burnout in your job search. All right, so get your pens and paper and let's go. All right, so the first way you can reduce burnout is to really set realistic expectations. Again, I'm on LinkedIn a lot and I hear from a lot of job seekers about how long they've been in the job search. And on average, if you're going at the job search alone, meaning you're not working with a coach, you're not getting support from a mentor, etc., then the job search is probably going to take you anywhere from 4 to 6 months. Okay. Now, even in a 4 to 6 months job search, I still want you to set realistic expectations. So that's on average, right? So I always tell people, if they say 4 months, give yourself 5. If it says 6, give yourself 7. So I like to say, for those people who are going at the job search solo, to give yourself 5 to 7 months in the current job market. Now, I know that when you started your job search, you gave yourself 90 days because you see places that say, oh, I landed at maybe someone landed a job in 90 days, or something gives you an idea that I can do this in 60, 90, or 30 days. And if you have already been in your search for 3 months or more, again, go back and set realistic expectations. And a lot of times when we're in this space, that overwhelm starts to creep up because we expected 6 or 3 months, 60 days, whatever it is, and we've gotten to that threshold and we have not been successful. So I want you to set that realistic timeline there for yourself so that when if you haven't met or you don't meet the 30 or 60 or 90 day timeline, hey, that was not a realistic expectation for me to have. And realistically, it's going to take a few more months. Okay. So that is number 1. Set realistic expectations. Number 2, when we talk about expectations, I want you to set limits. I want you to set limits, daily limits and weekly limits on your job search. I want you to set daily limits on how much time I'm going to spend on LinkedIn, how much time I'm going to spend on Indeed, Monster, wherever you are looking for roles, whatever job boards you're strolling through. I want you to limit that amount of time because, again, you can get overwhelmed by setting yourself up and saying, I'm going to look for a job every day from 5 to 7 p.m. or I'm going to spend 4 hours every day looking for a job. That's not realistic. And I want you to, again, to set realistic limits. That way, when you don't meet that limit, you're not beating yourself up. Okay. The other part of the limits is around job applications or, applying for job applications. I know some people will say, I'm going to apply for 5 to 10 jobs a day. The thing about that is if you've narrowed down your search in such a way, there may not be 5 or 10 jobs for you to apply to every day. Now, if you are applying to any job and you're applying to every job, then this does not apply to you. And yes, for those people, you can very well apply to 5 or 10 jobs a day. But for the rest of you who have very clear definition of what it is you're looking for, you probably won't see that many jobs every day posted out on job boards. So give yourself, again, realistic limits on, I'm going to apply for 5 a week. Now, I will say that my clients do not apply for 5 or 10 jobs a day. They typically don't apply to 5 or 10 jobs a week. On average, my clients apply to about 10 to 15 throughout our 12-week time working together. And they're not applying in the first 4 weeks. From weeks 5 through 9, I will say they're applying to jobs. And again, no one's ever applied to 20 jobs. Again, you want to give yourself that realistic expectation because we're very clear about what it is that we are looking for. Again, there may not be that many jobs for you to actually apply for. That is number 2, setting realistic limits on what you are, the time you have. Number 3 is specifically for the folks who are, part of this is for folks, job seekers who are unemployed, and that is taking regular breaks. So what I mean for you all is if you are unemployed and you're spending your entire day looking for a job, give yourself 10-minute breaks in between every hour. So at the top of the hour, you're giving yourself a break to take a walk or do whatever, just to clear your mind, clear your brain, watch some TV for a moment, get on social media and not look at LinkedIn. Give yourself a break. Okay? Again, because you're now spending majority of your waking hours probably looking for a job. And I know people say looking for a full-time job is a full-time job. Give yourself breaks. For those folks who are employed and you're coming home from work, so you're allowing yourself, anywhere between 6 and 9 p.m. to look for a job, I want you to limit yourself to Monday through Fridays only. So no job searching on the weekends, no job searching on Saturdays and Sundays. Now, inside of my program, the Career Clarity Accelerator, I have a schedule that I give all of my clients and they follow that, and it tells them every day what they should be doing. So some days are LinkedIn, some days are networking, so on and so forth, right? So they have a strategy and a schedule in which they can follow, right? Now you can step outside of that. Doesn't mean you have to, but I do give them the opportunity to follow a schedule and create those boundaries within the job search. So that is number 3. Number 4 is staying organized. Yes, when we talk about mental health, I don't know about you all, but If anything is cluttered for me, it clutters up my mind. It clutters up my brain. I cannot work in chaos. So you want to make sure that you are staying organized. Have a application tracker where you are tracking the number of jobs you apply for and what your status is for each one of those for so many reasons. One is if a recruiter or a hiring manager gives you a call, you know exactly what the job is for, especially for my folks who are applying for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 jobs. You want to make sure you're prepared and you're armed when you do get a call back. You're not asking them, so what job is this for? And I've had that happen. People said they've had that happen to them so many times where someone called them out the blue and they didn't know what job it was even for. So they felt like they just couldn't even get past the phone interview because they just came off so unorganized in their thoughts and in the interview because they've had so many applications out there, right? So keep yourself organized and allow yourself that time to just really go through and, again, track what you're applying for, track the status. And the other reason why I like tracking the status is because I will talk to people and I will ask them, how many jobs have you applied for? And they'll say a bunch or a lot. And I'm like, what number is that? And they say they don't know. Or they say 10. I'm like, okay, realistically, we go back to expectations, right? If you've applied to 10 jobs, if you're just applying online, then you may only get one callback. Like the percentage for a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people is when they solely apply online, the percentage of callbacks can be relatively low. So again, that goes back to your expectations. But if you are following, you have your your application tracking system, then you can see exactly where you are. I've applied for 10 jobs. I've had 5 phone interviews. 2 of those have turned into 2 in-person interviews. I'm on interview number 3 for such and such company. I'm in final interview stages with this company, right? It helps you, again, we're talking about mental health. That keeps your anxiety low because you know exactly where things are in the process and you don't have to shuffle around to find out where you are in things. So that is number 4. Number 5 is around seeking support. Now, I always tell people LinkedIn is great for so many things and so is other social media outlets. But so is meeting people in person, professional organizations. There are so many other people who are going through the job searching process right along with you, whether you are unemployed or underemployed. You can find people who are going through this process with you and who can support you through the process. It can be very hard sometimes when you talk to your friends and family and they are not going through the process. You feel like you're going through the motions and you're going through them alone and you're isolated. So finding you a network of people who may be going through the job search process as well can be so helpful in giving you the motivation and the courage just to keep going. Because a lot of times when we are searching for jobs, we get more no's than we do yeses. We get more rejections than we do acceptance. And so going through that over and over and time again can play on our confidence. It can play on just our mindset in general. So having someone alongside you, whether it be a network of people, whether it be a coach, whether it be a mentor, whoever it may be, to have those people go alongside you on this journey is going to be key and very important. Okay. So again, you can work with people who look at individuals who are in the job in which you're looking to, the industry in which you're looking to go into. There are professional organizations. I always mention that I am, by trade, I am a procurement professional. So I am a member or have been a member of the Institute for Supply Management. There are other supply chain procurement organizations for people who are specifically in procurement or supply chain. There is Apex And there may be a few others, but I'm only familiar with those two, or those are the two that I do recommend. But folks who are in HR, there is SHRM. If you are an accountant, there is an accountant organization, project management, so on and so forth. But really find your tribe of people to help you through this process. Go to career fairs, go to networking events. I call them relationship building opportunities. I know some of you are like, I do not like networking, but you do want to build relationships. So go to those relationship building opportunity events that will help you. One, maybe someone there isn't also in the job search, but maybe they can point you in a direction for someone and you can make new connections. Okay. So those are my top 5 ways in which you can reduce burnout in the job search. If you have been in the job search for 3 or 4 months and you do want support, I do recommend at this point to solicit some help from a career coach. If not myself, then someone else, but someone who can help you shorten the time. We have to think about going through a search of any sort, whether you are employed or unemployed. If you are at 50K and you're looking to get in 75K, like how much money are you missing out on every week, every 2 weeks, every month that you are not employed? So by soliciting some support will help you get there much quicker and you can start to close that gap. Of course, for you all that are unemployed, maybe a career coach is something that may be out of the financial realm for you right now. But again, continue to seek support and guidance. If you went to, a university, there may be some support that they offer from your alumni that you can solicit and seek out. Continue to follow people on networks like LinkedIn for free information. Continue to listen to podcasts like this and YouTube videos like this where you can get some free support, and it is valuable information there as well. Okay. All right. I hope that you tune in next week for another wonderful episode. I'm a little congested here, but I hope that you tune in next week where we will be having another great topic that I hope that will help you in your job search. So until then, I wish you a great and wonderful rest of the week, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.